Thank you, Fulton, for joining us for Fulton's first updates from the mayor, our May edition. I wanted to talk to everyone a little bit about what's happening with our COVID response. As of Friday, the 24th, I am told that we've had 0 cases. So I'm very proud to report that we have no cases in the city of Fulton. And that's due to the efforts that each one of you are putting in. You're wearing your masks, you're social distancing, you're practicing all of the requirements that we've put out there. And because of your efforts and because of your commitment to the safety of our community, our numbers remain low. So I commend you all. I thank everyone and continue to keep up the good work. I know that these are trying times. I know that this is difficult. And I know that we all want to get back to some form of normal. And we're going to get there. I've been working with regional elected officials to discuss a plan of reopening the community. What does it mean to reopen and move forward with our local economy? And we're talking about what that process looks like. I stand beside all of our business owners, and I stand strong with all of our business owners, knowing how they've been impacted through all of this, and knowing that these times are a challenge for all of these small businesses in our community. And I stand with you, and I understand the challenges you're faced with, and know that I am fighting to get our community opened safely under the right conditions, doing so with the safe and healthy health of everyone in mind, and making sure that when we do open our economy back up and we open our cities back up, we're doing so very strategically, and we're doing so under a process of phases that gradually gets us back to where we need to be. But I am fighting for our business community, and I am making sure that Fulton continues to have a seat at the table and a voice in the conversation so that I can give our input into the decisions that are being made. Stick with us. We understand that it's ultimately the governor's decision, but we are working diligently to make decisions that make sense for our region, make sense for Oswego County, that makes sense for the city of Fulton. So I'll continue to give updates on Facebook, and we will continue to do press releases and get that information out there to the community. So thank you for that. And of course, if you have any questions or concerns, you can certainly call my office at 315-592-7330, and we'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. As of tomorrow, Wednesday, the 29th, we are going to have a milk giveaway in partnership with the Salvation Army. The Salvation Army reached out to us and asked us if we would participate in a milk giveaway, and we're happy to do so, making sure that those most in need are getting the supplies that they need. And so in this case, we're going to do a milk giveaway right here outside of City Hall in the parking lot 7. Tomorrow, the 29th, from 3 to 5:30, we will have volunteers on hand from the Salvation Army, from the city of Fulton, our police and our fire department, and several of our counselors who will be helping out to make sure that that milk is not only handed out here at the giveaway site, but we're also delivering it to our senior citizen high rises in 4 different locations. So we'll make sure that those are delivered as well. And we're excited to participate in this opportunity with the Salvation Army. So thank you for that. Speaking of our senior citizens, we have engaged in an initiative this week where we are reaching out to hundreds of our seniors in the community just to say hello, just to touch base, see how everyone's doing, seeing if they need anything, and just to have a nice conversation and check in. We understand the importance of the mental health and wellness of our community, and that these check-ins are important. And we've had great success so far. We'll continue to make those phone calls throughout the week and have some great conversations with the seniors in our community. Additionally, we are making calls to our small business community. We're going to reach out to as many small businesses as we can talk about what's happening currently, where are they at this phase in the COVID survival, if you will, and what they need from the city and from any additional resources within our reach. We're happy to help. We want to help, and we want to make sure that we're talking directly with those businesses to make sure that we're connecting those dots for them so that those resources are available to them. Over this week, I started yesterday reaching out to our teachers and our administration at the school district, just sending some emails of appreciation and thank you for all the hard work that they're doing. Again, COVID has provided some challenges for all of us, and our schools have had their own unique challenges. And I just wanted to reach out to all those at our school district and thank them for all of their efforts and all that they're doing to continue to help our students with their education during all of this. So thank you to all of our those in the school district, and we appreciate all that you do. I have created a small business advisory committee comprised of businesses from all sectors of the community to give a voice, a strong voice to our business community during this survival period, during the transition period. What are the next steps? What do we need to do as a business community, as a city, to support our business community and to move us forward? What does that transition look like, and how do we get there? And then we need to look at a more longer term plan of sustainability and then resiliency. So how do we get back to doing business in Fulton and bringing back our business community stronger and better than ever? So this advisory council is going to bring that voice to the conversation, bring the ideas and the challenges, and together we're going to work through that. So this COVID Small Business Advisory Committee is meeting. Our first meeting is this Thursday, and from there we're just going to start planning and moving forward with various initiatives. I am happy to announce that we continue to make updates to our codes department. In January, right out of the gate, I knew that our codes department was a department that we needed to really focus on and spend a lot of time in assessing and understanding the need, understanding where we fell short, and what do we need to do to move forward. And we've been working on that right along since January, and right through this COVID process, we've continued to assess and determine what the need is and make changes as needed. I appreciate all the feedback coming in from the community. Your voice makes a difference. Your voice is what helps us to make these changes as we go forward. So as we look at the current structure of our codes department, I'm happy to announce that we did promote Malcolm Wettering to Bureau Chief of the Codes Department. He is a great asset to our codes team, and he's got great ideas. He's ready to make significant changes. He understands the hurdles and knows where we've gone wrong in the past, and he's ready to right those wrongs. He's ready to take the bull by the horns, if you will, and make significant changes that'll impact the look of our city, the way we do business, the customer experience, and the safety of our community. So I'm excited that Malcolm will be serving this new role, and we're going to work right alongside him to help him to transition through that. In addition, we do have an employee who is retiring in the codes department, and therefore we will be hiring someone for that position. So we will see a transition in our team as well in that position. So we're looking and going through the process right now of updating our staffing model and making sure that we have the right people in place to do the job. As part of this transition, we looked at the office and the customer experience, and we said, is the codes department, when we walk in from a customer's perspective, is this the experience that we want for our customers? When we walk in, is this what we want the customers to see and feel? And do they have access to resources? And are they provided a good environment to do business? And through that process, we realized the answer was no. We need to do better, and we need to improve the flow of the office and make some changes. So with a couple coats of paint, the rearrangement of some furniture, making sure that we pull out some resources and pamphlets, applications and forms, and we transition the office to be a more customer-friendly experience. We really think that's going to make a difference as we start to transition through some other changes with policies, procedures, fee schedule, and so on. So we've updated our staffing model, and we continue to update that. We've given the office somewhat of a facelift, always keeping the customer experience and the customer service at the top of our priority list. And we're working to transition through changes that need to happen with policy and procedure. We've worked with the court systems on how we can improve some processes that go through the court system. They've been great partners, and we continue to work with them to improve some of the process that we go through. We've worked with our police department. They've come up with some fantastic ideas in the community on how we can handle some of these vacant properties and deal with some of the, as I call it, riffraff in the city. And they're working directly with the codes department on some of these ideas. Last week, I had our fire department come to us with some great ideas on how to deal with vacant properties as well. And they want to work directly with the codes department to make some improvements in that area. And finally, our counselors in each of our 6 wards, they've come forward and said, we want to have input. We want to make changes in our city, and we want to meet with the codes department to partner with them to understand how we can do business differently and how we can make some improvements that we think are necessary in all of our wards and citywide. So through those efforts to this point, again, it's only been a few short months since January, but we're moving forward. We're making a lot of efforts, and we're not stopping doing the work that we need to do in order to move our departments forward. So I'm excited about those codes changes, and we'll continue to update the community as we progress through that. As a reminder, and first of all, I want to say thank you to the community for your patience. I know that yard waste was a concern, and we all wanted it to be picked up according to a normal schedule, but frankly, we're not under normal conditions, and I take no pleasure in having to make some of the changes that we've had to make to adjust what we're used to and the life that we're used to in Fulton. But those changes were necessary, and those changes complied with orders that came down from Albany or county level, and they were the right decisions to ensure your safety and the safety of those around us. With that, again, I appreciate your patience, but we are going to activate the yard waste pickup starting this Friday, May 1st. It will start in Ward 1, we'll move to Ward 2 and 3, then we'll transition to the other side of the city and do Wards 4, 5, and 6. Again, this will take some time. We're reintroducing our staff back into this process, and that's going to take some patience and some time and understanding how that transition works is getting us back to a staffing model that'll allow us to fulfill those yard waste pickups. So you should start seeing our trucks out there soon getting that yard waste. So thank you again. And then finally, we have continued with our cleanup of the Nestle's property. And a lot of people ask why, how can that happen? Well, through this process, there were lists that came out from the governor that said, here's essential and here's non-essential business. And because of the cleanup efforts over at the Nestle's site, we're basically a one-man show. We were able to continue with that cleanup and still be in compliance. And the reason that I chose to do that cleanup is because we received a grant in 2019, and that grant was allocated specifically for the cleanup of Nestle's. And we're grateful that we received it, but we're also concerned that we could lose that money. So we needed to use it before we lose it. And that's exactly what we did. So I wanted to get that activated and going and make sure that we use the money while also making sure that we do business differently in determining that cleanup. So as you'll see if you drive by there, we are working on a phased process. So phase 1, we go through that, we work with the contractors, we make sure the job is done, we're getting aerial drone footage, we're getting reports weekly, we're making sure that we stay on top of it, that we're always at or under budget, and I'm happy to report that we've been under budget to date. And then we move on to the next phase. We're not just saying, here, go and clean this up, have at it, and get back to us when you can. We're looking at it every week. We're staying on top of the progress. We're making sure that we have a voice to make sure that if something's not working, that we tell them. If we want to see changes to the strategy, we're communicating that. And we're moving through those phases very deliberately and very carefully to make sure the job is done right, with the intentions of, once that cleanup phases are done, we're going to see a much better property to market, if you will. And then we're going to be working with CNS companies on putting out an RFQ to see if there's any developers out there who are interested in developing that property, buying the property and developing it. So we're taking a different approach than we have in the past. And for us, we wanted to just get it cleaned up to the point where we think it's more marketable and we can start to finally see some changes and some development in that area. That's the gateway to our city. And we deserve that gateway to send a strong message to those who are living here, working here, and visiting here, that welcome to Fulton. And we're so happy to have you here. And we have our act together. And we want to present a positive look and feel, and a community that says we're here for you and we're here to do business. So I'm very pleased with the cleanup to date and look forward to seeing that through to the end phases. On that note, again, thanks for tuning in for this May edition of Fulton First. I'm happy to report out to you about what's happening in the city. And again, I'm always here. If you have any questions, please give me a call, 315-592-7330, or send me a quick email. It's mayor@cityoffulton.com. I look forward to talking with everyone. I hope to hear from you because it's your voice that makes a difference in what we do here in Fulton. Thanks again. Be safe, be healthy, and we're going to get through this stronger and better than ever. Take care.